1-800-449-8255, the Clark the Shark Show. Welcome to Wednesday, September 20. Another fine day of Sharky. Analyst. If oil prices top 100, expect demand destruction. Well, we didn't have this when Trump was president. This all began with the gasoline oil thing going expensive when Joe the retard took over on January 21 of 21 or whatever, January 20. Trump had low gas prices, like it or not, liberal, it's true. Things were cheaper with Trump, lower rent, lower gas, lower inflation, lower food prices, etc., etc. You guys in the liberal community can believe whatever you want. They're like, we don't care, Sharky, because he's orange and he's mean and we don't like him. We don't care if gas was cheaper. We don't care, Sharky. In fact, there's nothing you can do about it, Sharky, because we have mail-in votes. So we're going to win elections anyway, even if gas is, like oil tops $100, expect demand destruction. It don't matter. People are still going to vote Democrat, Sharky, even without voter fraud, because there's so many COVID, government handouts and, Section 8s and GR and, welfare, COVID related, or just tons and tons of government programs that hand out money. So the people don't care how bad the economy is, Sharky. They are still going to vote Democrat at 1-800-449-8255 right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Even if gas is $8 a gallon, they'll still vote for Biden and Democrats. I mean, come on, Sharky. You know it. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably true. It's not even the voter fraud. They don't even need that now. They got enough stupid people to vote Democrat at 1-800-449-8255 right here on the Clark the Shark Show. Injured Grand Canyon hiker 63 saved after friends abandoned him to continue backpacking. That sounds like what they would do to Clark the Shark at 1-800-449-8255. And they needed this big old helicopter to go pick up the injured guy, whose friends abandoned him to continue backpacking. Dude, I'd love to read more into that story. I mean, it's probably not true. The liberals at Yahoo, AOL, or whatever, or even Fox News are probably making it up. But who knows, with liberal backpackers, it might be true right here on the Sharkadoodle-Doo Show, 1-800-449-8255, Sharky, or you can just call 1-800-SHARK. Swarm of bees kill Kentucky man moving potting soil bag from porch, coroner says. It must have been them bees. Dude, bees are very, you don't mess with those, bro. And it's almost like, look at these little robots. They're like, look at this, Sharky. Dude, I'm like, God, why did you make these? He's like, oh, now come on, Shark. You know why I made these. If not for these, you guys, these pollinate and they do all kinds of stuff for our food, for mankind. The little bee's like, yeah, Sharky, I'm like a little drone, like a little robot. I got a stinger, though, Sharky, so if you piss me off, I'll come looking for you, Shark, at 1-800-449-8255. And I'm like, hey, I ain't messing with no bees. Sometimes I step on them or step on an ant I got to prove to you bees and ants I'm bigger than you at 1-800-449-8255. The bee's like, I remember you, Sharky. I remember when you stepped on my friend DX7889L24DOD. B. There's a serial number on that bee, DNA, and you crushed him, Sharky. And I'm like, well, at the time, dude, that bee was pissing me off, just like an ant, when I spray it with Raid. You guys don't spray ants outdoors. If you see an ant trail, let them live. If they're in your house, that's one thing, but people who spray outdoor ants or they kill bees, or I mean, even me, Clark the Shark, I'll admit it. But look at this bee. He's like, dude, karma, baby. I will hunt you down. Look how mean they look. They're actually not mean. They're just friendly little. If you don't bother them, they don't bother you. It really is true. Once in a while, you get stung. You look at your arm and you're getting stung by a bee, and you're like, dude, why are you stinging me? And he's like, ha ha, ha 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 ha. Karma, Sharky. 1-800-449-8255 on the Clark the Shark Show. I'm like, all right, B, well, one of you might get crushed right here on the Sharkadoodle-Doo Show at KSFO Radio. And that B's like, you better not, Sharky. Don't even think of it, Shark. And Taylor Swift steps out with a girl. Sophie Turner and Taylor Swift. Isn't Taylor like tired, from touring? She's like, no, Sharky, I'm a ball of energy. Like, oh my God. You play every fucking night, Taylor. Like we play like a 3-hour show in front of like 100,000 fans. And she's like, I can do it. Like, oh my God. I can't make a relationship last with a man, but like I can play a million shows. And I'm like, why do people look up to Taylor Swift? And this girl's like, leave her alone, Shark. Oh my God. Leave Taylor alone. Like, we're not doing anything to you. I'm like, well, you can't even make a relationship work. You've been with like 50 guys. You're not married. You have no kids. And you're like 35. She's like, well, look at you, Shark. Oh my God, look at you. And I'm like, all right, you're probably right. 1-800-449-8255. I'm just saying, Taylor can't make a relationship with a guy work. She's had like 50 boyfriends since 1989. This girl's like, so what? Oh my God, Shark. So what? We're stepping out tonight in New York. I'm like, well, be careful, girls. You might get mugged. You might get, it's a family show. I'm not going to say it, but New York, don't go walking in Central Park. And Taylor's like, I'll go where I want. Clark the Shark, you can't stop me. And I'm like, I didn't say I was stopping you, Taylor. And she's like, look at me, Clark the Shark. I know what I'm doing. I'm worth $300 billion. I'm like, all right. 1-800-449-8255. You got me there, Taylor. I'm not. You silenced me right here on the Clark the Shark Show. 1-800-449-8255. She's like, that's right. I'm a ball of energy. I just played 15 shows in a row. Like, it doesn't matter. God, dude, she's looking older now. She's like 34 or 35. She looks 45, you guys. I mean, that's what happens when you play a show like every fucking night in front of 300,000 people. And she's like, shut up, Clark the Shark. Oh my God. I'm Taylor Swift. I can do what I want. And I'm like, all right, Taylor, whatever. You have fun playing all your shows and in front of all your fucking idiots that pay $900 to see you. She's like, so what? They can put it on credit cards. Our whole country is putting things on credit cards, Clark the Shark. The whole United States is in debt, 50 trillion. What do we care? Like, oh my God, you're such a loser. I'm like, I'm just saying, Taylor, the country's in debt. Why are people paying $3,000 a month rent and then they're paying $3,000 per ticket to see you? She's like, because it's none of your business. Like, my music's like really good, and I like don't even write it. Oh, actually, I do write it. I'm like, yeah, sure you do, Taylor. Fucking that dude Borchetta steals all your songs. I know how you get your songs, Taylor. She's like, so what does that prove? I'm like, well, it proves that you suck and you don't have any talent. At 1-800-449-8255, the Clark the Shark Show. There, I got the last word in on Taylor Swift. Like, oh my God. Identity of massive World War II shipwreck confirmed when search team finds name still etched on bow. Well, dude, where's the name gonna go? Joe Manganello, I can't even pronounce it, has a new girlfriend, and they met in a hot tub. What, dude? I've never even heard of the guy, and they don't even mention the girlfriend. And I mean, a lot of people meet in a hot tub. What's so important about that? It's like, Sharky, you better man up. Joe Manganello met a babe. You didn't, Sharky. And I'm like, well, I'm married to someone else, so too bad for all of you. 1-800-449-8255. The Clark the Shark Show. It's unbelievably, like, incredible show. It's amazing. GOP fake electors charged in Georgia. Dude, fake electors. Is that like Hillary with the fake Steele dossier? Or like the fake double impeachment of Trump? Why isn't the GOP charging the Dems for all the fake stuff they do? And fake electors, what does that even mean, dude? Big deal, you're a fake elector. Well, how are you going to overturn anything just by being a fake elector? Democrats are like, well, Sharky, we better charge them like they're fake electors, Sharky. They're like, I'm like, dude, you guys are like charging people for thinking now. Like, they're coming up with creative ways. And Democrats are like, well, we don't like creativity, Sharky. Like, fake electors are bad. And like, Vanna White is like, yes, Sharky, I used to like you, but not now. I'm inking a new mega deal, like a lucrative money, and I'm 82 years old. But Vanna's like, Sharky, I can reach my demo still. I'm like, well, Vanna, you go, girl. Reach that demo. You know, you're 93 years old, reaching out to the senior citizens on Medicare. And they're like, hell yeah, Sharky. We love Vanna. Musk biographer. Nothing hurt him more than Amber Heard relationship. Oh, dude. Amber Heard? Fuck. Dude, that would hurt anybody. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. And McDonald's like, government shutdown, a loser for Republicans. I'm like, it's a loser for the whole country if you guys keep printing money, Mitch. He's like, well, Sharky, we gotta print money and go 50 trillion in debt. How about 60? Do I hear 70 trillion in debt, Sharky? I'm like, go. How many? Give me 80 trillion, Mitch. Just keep putting us in debt. Our rent will be $11,000 a month pretty soon just to own a studio. Mitch is like, that's okay, Sharky. You know, you can afford $11,000. You're a loser, Shark, if you can't afford $11,000. And I'm like, you're probably right, Mitch. You know, dude, anybody can afford $11,000 for a studio. Not even an apartment. I'm talking like a studio. Mitch is like, well, because we're 60, 70, 80 trillion in debt. And if we do a government shutdown, Sharky, that's a loser for Republicans, Sharky. At 1-800-449-8255 on the fabulous golden Clark the Shark Show. This guy's like, come on, Sharky. Get with it. Get with me, Mitch. I'll put you 90 trillion in debt, Shark. As a matter of fact, that little girl, Angelia, the foster care kid, she can handle 90 trillion debt, huh, Sharky? I'm like, Angie, wherever you are out there, call Daddy Sharky and tell me, can you afford 90 trillion debt? As a matter of fact, how about 100 trillion debt? Because Mitch and the Republicans, they think it's a loser for Republicans to shut down the government at 1-800-449-8255, right here from the fabulous golden EIB Sharkraphone. It's not a microphone, you guys. And Mitch is like, yeah, even I'm Mitch. I may freeze up sometimes, but when I unfreeze, I'm like, you got to listen to the Clark the Shark Show from the golden EIB Sharkraphone, not a microphone, baby. It's a solid gold Sharkraphone. It's not gold plated. Dick Clark speaks into a fucking gold-plated mic. But I, Clark the Shark, I speak into a solid gold Sharkraphone. The EIB excellence in shark casting. It's not broadcasting. And Mitch is like, that's right, Sharkadoodle-doo. You better be on board with our 100 trillion in debt. And I'm like, don't worry, Mitch, I'm all for it. In fact, I love it when they print more and more money. And you go to the store and a Coke costs $10 for just one can of Coke. And Mitch is like, you can afford $10, Sharky. What are you, a loser? Are you a quitter? I'm like, no, Mitch. Matter of fact, I can afford $20 for a gallon of milk. And Mitch is like, that's right, because we're 120 trillion in debt now, Sharky. Everything's expensive. I'm like, why don't we put on price controls? How about price caps? And Mitch is like, no, that's losers, Sharky. What are you trying to get low rent? Like, we got Section 8 for you, Sharky, at 1-800-449-8255. And I'm like, all right, Mitch, well, just put me on Section 8. I'll fucking live in a studio where my bed is connected to a toilet. I don't even have a microwave. I don't even have a kitchen. And Mitch is like, that's right, Shark. You better man up. You better drop and give me 100 and get in that studio. It only costs $9,000 a month. And you get one bedroom. I'm like, one bedroom, Mitch, that's cool. He's like, no, you get one room. Your bed is in the front room. And I'm like, well, all right, that works for me, Mitch. And he's like, matter of fact, you don't get a bathroom. Your toilet is in the front room. So you better draw the curtains, Sharky, when you use that toilet. It's kind of like prison. You know, the toilet's just right out in the open. I'm like, all right, Mitch, because we're 125 trillion in debt at 1-800-449-8255. And Mitch is like, that's right, Sharky. We got to print more money because the Democrats and the media say we better, because shutting down the government is a loser for the Republicans, Sharky. And you're kind of a loser too, Shark. You better get with it. High inflation. All that shit, Sharky, you got to get with it, because Biden and the Democrats are calling the shots, and they're like, Sharkadoodle-doo, you better pay some high inflation at 1-800-449-8255 on the fabulous Clark the Shark Show. The world's first dog fox is at the center of government. What? Dude, I thought we've had dog foxes long ago. I mean, come on, dude. Those things can just breed. They're like, no, Sharky. Up until now, we've never bred a dog with a fox. I'm like, really? Dude, I thought we did that long ago. In fact, I thought some dog just got freaky with a fox. The dog's like, oh, foxy lady. And they're like, no, Sharky. We needed to, like, do artificial insemination, like IVF or, whatever it's called, like in utero, in vitro. I'm like, oh, dude, I thought a dog and a fox, could just get it on. And they're like, no, Sharky, you probably think like a human and a gorilla, or like a human and like an ape, or like a human and like Bigfoot can just get it on at 1-800-449-8255 on the fabulous Clark the Shark Show. And I'm like, what about Mitch? He looks kind of like Bigfoot. And they're like, no, we don't, Shark. He just freezes up a little because, like, we're 125 trillion in debt. And I'm like, well, I mean, dude, I don't mind 125 trillion in debt. I'll just pay it next month, like a credit card. I'll just put money on a credit card, then I'll take the money out and pay another credit card. Mitch is like, you're catching on now, Sharky. Now you got it. At 1-800-449-8255, Clark the Shark Show. I can't believe you guys. It's the world.